Yes, students. So, in last lecture, we have discussed the concept of network design decision, elements of network design decision. Now, today we are going to discuss the factors affecting network design decision. What are the factors that affect the network design decision? So, these are the factors: strategic factors, technological factors, macroeconomic factors, political factors, infrastructure factors, competitive factors, logistics and facility costs. So we will discuss one by one. First is the strategic factors. In the strategic factors, the decisions of that particular organization related to the network design is greatly affected by the competitive strategy within the supply chain. So the organization will be looking for the lowest cost location for their manufacturing facilities in order to get the cost leadership, even while establishing the facilities far away from the market which is to be supplied. Or on other hand, the locations nearer to the market will be selected by those organizations which are focusing on the responsiveness and the selecting the high cost location, if these firms will be able to quickly fulfill the needs of the customer. Okay, so this is about the strategic factors. Now technological factors. So what are the technological factors which affect on the network design decisions? Here the decisions are also, we can say that they affected by the characteristics of available production technologies, available production technologies. So few capacity locations will be established if the economies of the scale can be, what we say, achieved with the help of the production technology. On the other hand, many local facilities will be favored if they have lower fixed cost, as it will reduce the transportation cost of the firm. So in this technology, the technology is also affect on the network decision, network design decision. The level of consolidation which can be accomplished in the network is influenced by the flexibility of the production technology. Understand? So production technology is affect on the network design decisions. So next is the macroeconomic factors. The macroeconomic factors means what? These are the external factors that includes the taxes, exchange rates, tariffs, and other economic factors that the organization or firm cannot control. It is uncontrollable factors, macroeconomic factors. So here we can say that, or we discuss the success or failure of supply chain network is vastly influenced by these macroeconomic factors due to increased trade and more globalized market. It is uncontrollable, and whether the success or failure of that supply chain network is uh, is very influenced by these macroeconomic factors. So thus it is very crucial for the firm to consider and evaluate these factors while taking the decision regarding the network design. Okay, the firms who want to take the decision regarding the network design, please, they should consider the macroeconomic factors and evaluate these factors also. Okay, then the various macroeconomic factors are stated as below, like uh, tariffs and tax incentives, exchange rates and demand and risk. Okay, all these factors that affect on the network design decision. Then political factors. What are the political factors? The location choice is very much influenced by the political stability of the country under the consideration. The countries with political stability and well defined commerce rules are usually favored by the firm. Okay, the countries which have a clear and free legal system allow the enterprise to approach the court and thus the investment decisions regarding such countries and are easier. So thus, while designing their supply chain network, many firms conduct the subjective evaluation for different countries, as it is not easy to measure the political stability of the nation. Okay, to measure the political stability is very difficult. So the political factors is also influenced or affect on the while we are taking the decision regarding the network design decision. Infrastructure facility or infrastructure factors. Okay, again we can say that infrastructure or availability of good infrastructure is very important for the business. Okay, means the cost of doing business will increase for a particular location. Okay, for which lacks good infrastructure. Understand? So here infrastructure plays a very important role in the network design decision. Competitive factors. What are the competitive factors? Competitor size, their strategies, their locations should also be considered by the that particular organization while designing their supply chain network. Okay. Hmm? So these are the competitor factors. Competitor size, their strategies, their locations should also be considered for the particular by the particular the company while they take a decisions or design the supply chain network. Hmm? So here next is the logistics and facility cost. Yes, the logistics and facility cost. With the change in a number of facilities or capacity allocations and their location, there will be also change in the logistic and facility cost incurred within a supply chain. Okay, because of the change of the facilities and the capacity allocations and their locations, so there will be also be the change in the logistics and facility cost incurred within a supply chain. Hence, means here we can take an example by having a less number of facility, Dell has low inventory and reduced the facility cost. So hence, while designing the supply chain network, the firm must give due consideration to inventory, transportation, and facility cost. Okay, okay. So these are the factors that are affecting on the network design decision. Strategic factors, technological factors, macroeconomic factors, political factors, infrastructure factors, competitive factors, and logistics facility cost. Next is the data for network design decision. So data for network design decision, the main objective or we can say that the main task of the manager while taking a decision regarding the network design, okay, of the particular organization is to get the maximum profit from the network design, okay, along with the providing maximum satisfaction to the customer by fulfilling their demand. Okay, this is the main objective to get the maximum profit from the network design along with the providing maximum satisfaction to the customer by fulfilling their demand. So the here the data, what data we they may be required in the network design, okay, that can be obtained from multiple sources like through most of the data can be standardized. There is some amount of information which may be related to the certain network configuration. Okay, so here location information. So here information, large amount of data which has uh, get the information related to locations of manufacturing facilities, existing warehouses, customers, suppliers, and retailers. Okay, means name product information. The data about the product means all products along with their volumes, certain transport modes required by them. Okay, whether it is example as refrigerated, Okay, so all these type of product information that can be data is required for the network design decision. Transportation. So transportation related costs for different modes. Okay, then again we can say that annual product demand according to the customer location, warehousing details like warehousing cost along with labor, inventory carrying charges, and fixed operating costs, frequencies and sizes of shipment for customer delivery or customer service, order processing cost, requirement and objective of customer services, volumes and cost of sourcing and productions. So all this type of data is required and very important in network design. Okay, so according to that data, we can the manager is taking a decision regarding the network design, and also they attend their setted objective that to get the maximum profit for the from the network design. Hmm? So these are the sources where the we take the information to take the decision regarding network design decision. Next is the model of data validation. So for a network configuration modeling, one has to face a lot of problems during collecting, tabulating, and filtering the data. Ensuring the accuracy of model depicting the network design problem has to be addressed once the above stated issues are resolved. Model and data validation can be used for resolving such issues. What type of issues? During the facing the problem during the collecting, tabulating, and filtering the data. So by reconstructing the current network configuration with the help of model and collected data and performing the comparison with the output of the model to existing data, this process can be successfully executed. Correct. So there cannot be exaggerations of significance of validation. Different types of costs such as inventory, production, transportation, and warehousing incurred in the existing network configuration are included in the valuable output of the model. So duplicate the current operating conditions. There can be a comparison between this data and the accounting information of the firm. So here, problematic assumptions, error in data, modeling flaws, etc., can be easily identified by this approach. Hmm? So therefore, not only the model parameters are standardized, but potential improvements in existing networks are also suggested by the validation process. So in short, in order to observe the estimations of the system about the impact of cost and service level, some small changes can be made in the network. So a lot of what if questions can be used in this step, determining the influence of shutting down the warehouse on the performance of the system can be or can also be included in it, or the flow of material can also be checked by the user with the help of the existing network, and changes cost can be estimated. So the effect of these small changes in the performance of the system can be easily estimated by the manager most of the time, and thus the error can be detected very easily. But the reliability of predicting the effect of radical redesign of the complete system is not good. In short, the following questions are included in the validation process. What type of question? Is the model is relevant to the particular system? Is there data consistencies present? Is the possible to explain the result of the model? And has the sensitivity analysis been executed? So all these type of questions are included in the validation process. In order to know the validity of model and data, so validity is very important, but There are more benefits of this process. Specifically, it facilitates the user to estimate the relationship between current level of operation which were determined during the validation and probable changes that were made after optimization. Okay, so it is very important to and helpful to estimate the relationship between the current level of operations which were determined during the validation and the probable changes that were made after optimization. Okay, so this is the model and data validation concept. Next is the process of network design decision. So here we will say the process of network design decision. Again, I am saying that the very important objective of manager while taking the decision regarding the network design is to obtain the maximum profit for the organization while fulfilling the expectation of customer in terms of responsiveness and demand. So these are the four steps included in the process of network design decision. Phase 1, supply chain strategy. Phase 2, regional facility configuration. Step 3, desirable sites. And step 4, location choices. So we'll see one by one. Step 1, phase 1, define a supply chain strategy. Okay, so defining the supply chain strategy for the organization is the first step of network design. Now, different types of capabilities which must be possessed by the supply chain in order to support the competitive strategies of the organization should be specified by the supply chain strategy. Competitive strategies of the firm should be clearly defined in terms of the combination of customer requirement. Okay, what customer they want, hmm, which are to be satisfied with the help of supply chain. The customer satisfaction is the ultimate goal of every business. Hmm. So the competitive strategy of the organization is should be clearly defined in terms of combination of the customer requirement. What the customer want, according to that, you prepare the your strategies. Okay, okay, and your ultimate goal should be to satisfy the need and want or that particular customer with the help of your supply chain. So after this, the level of global competition should be evaluated by the manager. Yes, global competition should be evaluated by the particular manager of that particular company, and they must identify whether in the market or in the local or global competitors are present. Evaluate whether the competitors are in the your local market or is the global they are present. So the various constraints on available capital should be determined along with determine the possibility of attaining the growth with the existing facilities or pertaining with the other firms or developing new facilities. So the supply chain strategies for the firm must be determined by the manager depending upon the competitive strategy, economies of scale or scope, and analysis of competition and constraint. Clear? So this is the first step of the process of network design decision is to define the supply chain strategy first. Then next, define the regional facility configuration. Yes, this is the second step of the network design decision. Is this step or the regional facility configuration is associated with the defining the um, yes, this step is associated with the defining the regional facility configuration. It means it in this step here to identify appropriate region for setting up the facilities as well as identifying potential roles and capacity of such facilities. Understand? So it means to identify appropriate regions for setting up the facilities. So here analysis is conducted. We start with forecasting and the demand prevailing in the country. This forecast involves evaluating the size of the demand and determining both homogeneity and variability of the customers needs across nation. Okay, so the what type of forecasting? The forecast involves evaluating the size of the demand, understand, and variability of the customer needs across the nation. After this, the manager identify if the economies of scale can be applied in cutting down the cost using the production technology available in the firm. Few facilities will be selected to serve entire market when the economies of the scale or scope are the great significance. So in this next step, manager identify the and analyze the various types of risk associated with the regional market, namely what type of risk, demand risk, political risk, exchange rate risk, etc. Okay, so all this type of risk manager identify and analyze. Correct. So besides, competitors present in the regional market are also identified to decide whether the firm should be set up its facilities near these competitors or away from them. So here also they identified the competitors present in the regional market. Okay, and then decide whether that particular organization should be set up its facilities near this competitor or away from them. So depending upon all this information, the regional facility configuration should be determined for the supply chain network with the help of design model. Okay, in this second step, the manager should identify the various types of risk, that is mean demand risk, political risk, then exchange rate, also competitors strategies present, those are the competitors present in the market. Okay, and then decide whether the uh, what do we say, the facility is to be set near these competitors or away from the competitors. Okay, this is the second step. Next is the desirable sites. Select the desirable site. After defining supply chain strategy and the regional facility configuration, then is the select the desirable sites. This phase is this step is linked with the objective of setting a set of desirable site in particular region for setting up the facilities. For attaining these objectives, the manager need to identify more than the required number of desirable sites so that they can select the best sites among them. Okay, to select the desirable sites, so manager should have the number of alternatives. Among the number of alternatives, the manager can select the best alternatives for them, best sites among them. Okay, so the analysis of such sites should be based on the availability of appropriate infrastructure which can support the production method of organization. Understand? Availability of the appropriate infrastructure. As I said in the last lecture, the infrastructure is last slide. Infrastructure is the very important part for the supply chain network. Hmm. So analysis of these sites should be based on the availability of appropriate infrastructure which can support the production methods of the firm. So the primary factors which should be considered while analyzing the infrastructure of the site are availability of warehousing facility, transportation services, suppliers, utilities, communications facilities. However, the secondary factors can be availability of skilled laborers, workforce turnover, reaction of people living in the nearby regions toward the business. Okay, what type of analysis they have to do? The like primary factors, warehousing facility, transportation services, supplier, utilities, communication facilities, and secondary factors, the availability of skilled labor, workforce turnover, reaction of people those are living in nearby regions towards that particular business. Okay, so this all these factors are included in the third step, desirable site, and then they with consideration of all these factors, the manager should they select the desirable site. And finally, the last step is the location choices. Selecting the accurate location and capacity allocation for each facility is the main objective of this step. What is the main objective of this particular step? Select the accurate location and the allocate the capacity to each facility. Hmm, is the main objective of this step. Now, in this step, the main focus is given to the sites which are carefully chosen in phase third. Understand? In this first step, the main focus is given to the site which are carefully chosen. Carefully means what? After considering all these factors, primary factors, secondary factors. Primary factors, I'm telling again, warehousing facility, transport services, suppliers, utilities, communications facilities. Secondary factors, whether they are availability of skilled laborers, workforce turnover, reaction of people those are living in nearby the region. Okay, so after carefully chosen, so then here the main focus is given to the site which are carefully chosen in the phase or step third. For profit maximization, the network is formulated while considering the various logistics and facility costs, the taxes and tariffs at each location, expected margin and demand in each market. Okay, so for profit maximization, network is formulated while considering the various logistics and facility costs. Understand? For profit maximization, the network is formulated while considering the various logistics and facility costs, the taxes and tariff at each location, expected margin and demand in each market. Okay, and then they choose the location. So these are the four steps included in the process of network design. Okay, so what we have discussed in this lecture, students, factors affecting the network design decision, strategic factors, technological factors, macroeconomic factors, political factors, infrastructure factors, competitive factors, logistic and facility cost. Okay, then data for network design decision, location information means here the data is required in to take a decision regarding the network design decision. Okay, and that data should which can be obtained from multiple sources, like here information related locations, manufacturing facilities, existing warehouses, customers, product type of information, product volume, certain transport, their transport mode required by them, annual product demand according to customer location, transportation cost for different modes, either by rail, by road, by air, by water. Understand? Warehousing cost along with their labor, inventory carrying charges, fixed operating cost, frequencies and size of shipments for customer delivery, order processing cost, requirement and objective of customer services. So all these multiple sources and this data, this type of data, this type of information required to take the accurate or particular decision regarding the network design decision. And then we have discussed the model of data validation. While you are going to the take a decision, so this type of questions It's very important. Okay, and validity is very important, but there are more benefits in this process. Understand? So, is the model relevant? Is there data consistency present? Is it possible to explain the result of the model? Has the sensitivity analysis been executed? So, we have to get the answer of this type of questions. Hmm. And then we have discussed the process of network design decision. Here, it included four steps. Phase one, supply chain strategy. Here we consider the competitive strategy, global competition, internal constraint like capital growth strategy, existing network. Then second step, regional facility configuration. We have to define the regional uh, facility configuration with consideration of the regional demand like size, growth, homogeneity, local specification, tariff, tariff and tax incentives, production technologies. Okay, then competitive environment, political exchange rate and demand risk. Select desirable sites. Third step. Here also select the desirable site. Among there are number of alternatives. Select the best sites. Okay, with consideration of production methods, skill needs, response time, available of infrastructure. Okay, and finally the fourth step is the location choices. Here also we consider the factor cost, labor, materials, site specific, logistic cost, transport, inventory, and coordination. So this is the process of network design decision. So student, I hope you have understand the concept of process of network design decision. So remaining part we will continue in the next lecture. Thank you.